Welcome to the Daily Nugget, where we look to drop a simple yet powerful idea that, if implemented, could have a positive ripple effect on you and everyone around you. Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Nugget. I'm Justin Casper with a good friend, Buck Martinez. Buck is an author of a multitude of books. Most importantly, and I know he's going to talk about this, he is the founder of Student Aces, which is an amazing organization in our area that really dives into the leaders in the high schools through sports and coaching, teaching kids how to be just great people, not just great athletes. So Buck, you have a couple ideas for us to share, some daily nuggets. The idea is, these simple ideas, simple truths that if we put into action could have a positive impact and a ripple effect throughout the community. So what did you bring for us today?
Really, it's nothing too exciting. We tell all of our students that they're all born for greatness, and that everybody should strive and aspire to greatness. So we actually have shirts that say aspire to greatness, and I'll be wearing them all the time. So what that means is basically that they should all try to strive for their potential, not necessarily as athletes, but as you mentioned, as human beings.
Yeah.
So we basically ask them about greatness. What does it mean? How do they define it? And it all goes back to, if you truly believe that we're all come from the DNA of a master creator, that we're all born to be great. Therefore, it's not about your physical talent, it's your ability to make others great. And if you look at whether it's great coaches, great managers, everything they focus on is making their organization better. So it's selfless.
I love it. One of the ideas, you're working with kids all the time that have different economics that deal with how they view greatness. But the idea of going back to the master creator, the person that gave you purpose and stepping into that greatness, that is fantastic. I think constantly great leaders don't think less of themselves. They just think of themselves less. And the whole idea of not looking internally, but externally, how I can make everyone else around me great. Mm-hmm. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it was, I was a big fan of Tom Landry. So Tom Landry was a coach for the Cowboys back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and he was actually there for the first 29 years of the organization. And they asked him how he defined greatness. And if you look at it today, they all say how many rings I got.
Yeah.
And what he said is, how many of my assistants can I get to become head coaches? So his whole mission was about making his assistants greater, right? So again, it's all selfless and that dedication to the individual as opposed to just the organization.
Yeah, I love it. I see on here we've got a little bit of the next book that's coming up, which is the 7 Steps to Success. Unpack that for us a little bit.
Yeah, so basically everyone's looking for a formula, and today, it's a little frustrating that many people don't read. They look for that quick Instagram, Facebook, that Twitter. And to me, reading is such a powerful thing. I mean, if you look at the great people like Ben Carson, his mom used to make him read 2 books a week.
Oh, wow.
So here's a young man that was basically in Detroit in a tough situation, ends up becoming one of the top neurosurgeons in the world. And so it's how do you get kids challenged to be able to read and put that thing down called social media.
Yeah.
So 7 Steps delves into what are those very simple yet basic things that can do. So one example of that is winning attitude. We tell our students that the only thing you can control in life is your attitude.
Yeah.
Adversity happens, and because you ask kids what can you control, they say themselves. I said you can't control yourself. So attitude is, and there's great sayings that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So that's one of the nuggets of the book.
I love it. I just wrote down 2 books a week. So when my kids, I have my 5th on the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Congrats.
Yeah. So
awesome.
So when they're complaining about their 2 books a week, I'm gonna bring back to this video and say, hey, Buck said it. Ben Carson did it. Anyway, so I have point 3, which is Man Up, which is a book that you had recently completed. I had the ability to read into, but kind of unpack that. Some of the main points for you.
Yeah, so I think it was Bobby Bowden. I mean, everybody was talking about why is this generation not as good or whatever, and I've always felt that this generation actually has that much more talent. I think they have, the C word is that compassion, that they really care. So it's how do you get this generation to truly focus on being responsible and dependable? Well, part of the issue is that man has basically abandoned their responsibility as a father.
Yeah.
So in a lot of the areas that I deal with, the dad is absent.
Yeah.
And then when you look at what's happening on TV and you're looking at the movies, the man is always made to be the buffoon.
Yeah.
So Man Up is that book that basically reaches out to men and says, hey, you have an incredible duty and responsibility to be a man. So man up, take responsibility, be a great husband, be a great father, be present in the lives of these kids. And I think it was Troy Aikman, who's this very stoic guy, and he was a Heisman Trophy winner, 3 Super Bowl champions, lead analyst, Hall of Famer. But when they asked him what his legacy was going to be, he actually broke down. And he looked at his 2 daughters and said, the only thing that matters to me is that those girls will be able to say I was a great father. And that's kind of the essence of the book is making sure that we're there, because when you look at every statistic and you look at the key variable, teen violence, gangs, teen pregnancy, suicide, there's 17 variables in the book that we go into. And the common factor is a lack of a father in their lives.
Yeah.
So that's the essence of the book.
I love it. Thank you for participating with us on this Daily Nugget, dropping some great ideas, and really calling us up to be, and what kind of we started with was the idea of greatness, and that we have an entity, God, whatever you may believe in, that created us and gave us this purpose. The Creator gives us this purpose. It also gives us the idea of what men as a man should look like through Jesus Christ. And I went through with Tony Dungy's The Quiet Strength, the idea of what a real man and what men really look like. And it changed my perspective, because like you said, Hollywood and social media and different things will portray men differently, and we think that's the truth, but that's not the truth.
No,
and I appreciate you bringing the truth.
So I'll leave you with this, and it's about purpose, passion, and conviction, right? So as a man, you have to have a purpose, whatever that may be. And in your case, my case, it's about that family, right? So 5 kids, God bless you. Have 3 daughters, that was a lot.
That's probably about the same.
We had 3 in 5 years, and God knows how many we would have had. But 3 C-sections later, that was it.
Yeah.
But 2 is, so what is that purpose? What is that passion that burns inside of you and makes you who you are, and then driving through the adversity, right? Yeah. So the ability to have that conviction that allows you to continue to strive and grind through all the daily adversity. So
I appreciate it. So I know we're going to have a link for some of the areas that you can grab, whether it's books or more ideas, ways to support student aces. I just want to say thank you so much. And that's today's Daily Nugget. Until next time, keep the ripple going. Don't keep this nugget to yourself. Pass it on. Keep the ripple going. To subscribe or share, click here. We'd love to connect and hear your feedback.